Get comfortable.
You believing me is all I need.
Welcome to Law and Flash Order. This is going to be my episode 10 video. There were so many Easter eggs. They're obviously trying to stick very close to the Trial of the Flash comic book arc, which was sort of the last big Barry Allen arc from the comics. So let's do top 10 WTF and comic book Easter eggs as we go along. And there's a new round of that Flash ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter, just be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. So number 10, really important teaser for what's to come later. Iris is the person who has the idea that Barry said something during the trial that he said when he came out, the gibberish he was speaking, meaning that they're going to go back and start reanalyzing that. Very, very important, because while he was in the Speed Force, Barry saw the future, so it's the key to defeating the Thinker. So they have it around them, they just don't know what it is because they haven't decoded it yet. There's no context for it. So like, this house is bitchin', we're gonna need more diapers, doesn't sound like anything to them, even though we as the audience have already connected a lot of those dots. But another really good example of foreshadowing is at the beginning of the trial when they read Barry's full name, Bartholomew Henry Allen, and then later at the end of the episode, he sees the wall and finds out that Henry Allen, his father, was in the cell that they just stuck him in. So it's a nice bookend for the episode. And then obviously, number 9, Joe starts going on the warpath trying to clear Barry using all the creeper skills that Elongated Man picked up as a private detective. So they go full Jessica Jones trying to catch the Thinker's wife boning with the new version of the Thinker, even though it totally doesn't work. The whole idea there is that he failed Barry's father. Like, if you saw the clip that I posted from the first episode in my last video, how he was adamant that Barry's father really did kill his mother and didn't believe Barry about the man in yellow. Turns out all of Barry's conspiracy theories were right. He's not going to be wrong again. I'm not going to fail Barry the way I failed his father. So it's this nice bookend for the beginning of the series and what was happening during season 1 with his father being falsely accused of murder. Taking that foreshadowing a step further, they also imply in future episode descriptions that Barry's going to run into someone with a special connection to Henry Allen, so they just want to remind you of things in this episode, so they foreshadow the gibberish he was speaking because that's going to come back around. There's a brand new ability that he manifests. That'll be really important in a later episode. So there's just a lot of foreshadowing for all kinds of different plot points. Some of them have to do with the trial, which is a smaller arc. Some of them are going to be paid off later this season with the big battle with the Thinker. But number 8, the actual trial of the Flash. Now, this was actually a really big comic book arc because it covers everything from Barry killing the Reverse Flash to save his fiancée, Fiona Webb, and eventually they ended that comic book run with him then going on to Crisis on Infinite Earths. They canceled the Flash comic book, and when it came back, it was the Wally West era of the comics because Barry died, or supposedly died, during Crisis. But if you want to read along in the comics, it's a really long run. It goes from issue number 323 all the way to 350. So there's a lot of stuff that happens between the actual trial. But number 7, Mark Valley, the person who is prosecuting him, you may recognize as Christopher Chance, the Human Target from the Human Target TV show a couple of years ago. He's a DC Comics character that Arrow repurposed last season. So if you are a big comic book fan, I don't think that they're sticking exactly to the Flash trial from the comics because there were a lot of really crazy comic book level twists. Things that would just seem ridiculous if they did them during the TV show. So like, people were pretending to be other people. I don't think they're going to take it that far. Like Abracadabra was a big part of the arc. I don't think that he's going to be part of the trial of the Flash. I think it's going to last for a couple episodes tops. Then they'll resolve that, Barry will find his way out, and they'll move into more of a legit battle with the Thinker in the back half of the season. But for the next couple of episodes, obviously they intend to do an arc with Barry inside Iron Heights. So number 6, they do have the Meta of the Week plot. He's one of the new bus metas. His name is Fallout. He is a comic book character. He basically just gives off radiation. He's like a walking nuclear bomb. So the crazy thing here, talk about foreshadowing, is that they solve the problem by venting him into another Earth that Harrison Wells says is dead. Earth 15, it's a dead Earth. I hope it's dead, otherwise the people just ate a ton of radiation. But they might choose to bring that back as the tip-off for a crossover if they vent some trash into another universe and it causes problems for the people in that universe. Like, how dare you dump all your garbage here without thinking about us? So just remember that there are consequences to their actions. And like sometimes, even when they're trying to help people or go about their daily lives, they hurt people. That was sort of the metaphor of the Fallout character. Like he was just going to the bank, trying to get money so that he could go about his daily life. He wasn't trying to hurt people. So like Barry isn't trying to hurt people, but through his own actions, without intending it, there is collateral damage to being a hero. So just remember that idea. Collateral damage could always cause some problems for Team Flash down the road. But this is obviously more about the Thinker right now in the bus metas. Number 5, the Thinker's wife reminds Iris that there are problems that are bigger in the world that they're trying to solve. The whole reason for her throwing Team Flash under the bus, trying to get Barry out of the way, is so that the Thinker can enact his plan to enlighten the world. The Thinker is so dead set on saving the world that it'll be fascinating to find out what his actual plan is. We haven't gotten any clues for that yet, only that the 12 metas working together will help him enact that plan. They reminded us in the episode that they're not just distractions for Team Flash, because Barry's like, why are you distracting us? And he's like, oh no, there's a much bigger plan than that. But number 4, really cool, Barry manifests a new ability so that Iris can't give him up as the Flash. Now, there's this comic book cover here. This is very clearly what they're aping, like Barry being unmasked in his trial to try and clear a path to his defense. This person is married to the Thinker. That's the body that you found, but he secretly transferred his consciousness. You can't go to that without explaining how Barry is involved with these people, and then you have to explain how he's the Flash. So Barry's like, we're not doing that. We're not going to do any of that stuff. Please just be quiet, Iris. But the cool thing is that he didn't know that he could bring her into super speed with him. So like I said, that's more foreshadowing for him using that ability later this season in a really cool way. Like anytime there's a really cool new ability like throwing lightning at the beginning of season 2, it always comes back around several episodes down the line, like with the Flash getting lightning thrown back at him. But number 3 was them trying to get Killer Frost to manifest. That was actually pretty funny. Them just yelling at Caitlin. She's like, I can't do it on command. I don't know how to do that yet. They'll find an easier way for her to go full-blown Killer Frost on a dime eventually. But you do kind of sense that she's not totally aware of what's going on. Is this business? Pleasure? What's going on here? Oh, looks like business. So you guys can let me know how you feel about this version of Killer Frost, where she's kind of helping the team, she's kind of friends, like during episode 9 when they make the joke about the baking powder, like Team Flash has been hanging out with Killer Frost and Caitlin doesn't know it, and it bums her out because they're like, Killer Frost is way cooler to hang out with than you, she's way more fun. But really cool Easter egg number 2, when they're sentencing him, like when he's going into booking at the beginning of the episode, the number on that slate there is the date that they published the Trial of the Flash comic book. And my number 1 is obviously Barry going into the prison cell at Iron Heights and realizing that it was his father's cell. So you cry a little bit, but it's very meaningful and it's a good bookend for what happened during season 1. I'm an innocent man. I didn't do this. So again, just remember that the key to defeating the Thinker this season is in the gibberish, and now they know to start analyzing that. But obviously it didn't happen during this episode, so that'll probably come back either next week or the week after that. But let me know in the comments what's your favorite thing from the episode, and what are you looking forward to during the Iron Heights run, like while Barry's inside prison. Clearly, it looks like there's some sort of crazy prison fight in next week's episode. But just remember that as the Flash and as Barry Allen, CSI, he helped put a lot of those criminals in prison, and now he's in there with them. But I will do a trailer video for next week's episode and a Black Lightning episode 1 video next, so I'll try to get those up Wednesday morning. Congratulations to the latest Flash Ring giveaway winner, Joe Show. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. There was a new round in this video. I'll just announce the winner when I post my DC videos tomorrow. So click here for my Flash Legion of Superheroes videos, and you can click here for that Deadpool Family Guy episode. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.